Trigonometry, Chapter 3, Radian Measure in the Unit Circle. Section 1, Radian Measure. Video 4, Degree Radian Equivalences to Memorize. The series is based on content from Pearson's Trigonometry, 12th edition by Lial, Hornsby, Schneider, and Daniels. In the previous video, we learned the following about radians and degrees. If a central angle theta in a circle of radius r intercepts an arc of length s, then theta equals s over r is the radian measure of theta. Pi radians equals 180 degrees. This one is super important. Know it. To convert from degrees to radians, multiply by pi over 180 degrees, and to convert from radians to degrees, multiply by 180 degrees over pi. But really, you need to know pi radians equals 180 degrees. In this video, we focus on very specific radian measures that, if memorized, can make converting between degrees and radians automatic for special angles, or rather, I should say certain angles. Let's start with what I consider the most important equivalency between degrees and radians. Pi is equal to 180 degrees. From this, we can generate many useful equivalences for common degree measures. For example, divide both sides by 2. Well, that'll give us pi over 2 on the left and 90 degrees on the right. So 90 degrees is pi over 2 radians. I would memorize that. Or divide both sides of pi equals 180 degrees by 3. That'll give us pi over 3 on the left and 60 degrees on the right. I would memorize that 60 degrees is pi over 3 radians. Or divide both sides of pi equals 180 degrees by 4, which will give us pi over 4 on the left and 45 degrees on the right. 45 degrees equals pi over 4 radians. I would memorize that. Or divide by 6. Fooled you. If we divide both sides by 6, we get pi over 6 equals 30 degrees. Now, I skipped divide by 5 because the result, 36 degrees, is in a special angle. Although we can do exact trigonometry with 36 degrees, it just requires some techniques that we haven't encountered yet. Now, what you see here are imperative to memorize. Know them, know them, know them, know them, know them. But at the very least, know pi over 180 and be able to derive the others. The sooner you have these 5 memorized, the easier your life is going to be in trigonometry and beyond. Just remember, pi equals 180 degrees, and as such, the denominator in each equivalence times the degree measure always equals 180. For example, in the first one, 2 times 90, 180. 3 times 60, 180. 4 times 45, 180. 6 times 30, 180. It happens because of how we got here. Now, with these 5 equivalences, we can almost instantly convert many of the radian measurements we will encounter. For example, so memorize these right now if I haven't said that a few times. For example, let's convert 5 pi over 3 to degrees. Now we can multiply by the correct ratio, which would be 180 degrees over pi radians. But if you notice, 5 pi over 3 is 5 pi thirds. And if you know that pi over 3 or pi thirds is 60 degrees, then you can instantly think the following. 5 pi over 3 is the same as 5 times pi over 3, but that's the same as 5 times 60, which of course is 300 degrees. All because I knew that pi over 3 was 60 degrees. So how convenient. What about this one? Negative 17 pi over 6 degrees. Excuse me, negative 17 pi over 6 radians converted to degrees. Well, if you know that pi over 6 is 30 degrees, and I do, then we could do the following. Negative 17 pi over 6 is the same as negative 17 times pi over 6. But that's the same as negative 17 times 30 degrees. Now, you may or may not know 17 times 3. It's 51, so negative 17 times 30 is negative 510 degrees. But if you didn't know off the top of your head that 17 times 3 was 51, that's okay. Now you try. Pause the video and try the following. Don't look at any notes, books, or whatever. What are the degree equivalences for the following? This is a straight up knowledge memorization question. Do you know them? If you don't, then go back and rewatch the part where I keep saying, know them, know them, know them, know them, know them. Or can you calculate them in your head? Aha. All right, solutions in 3, 2, 1. Just remember, pi is like 180, so just divide it to get these values.